Hey guys, it's James again. We're doing a movie review slash angry rant. I just saw Transformers last night, and I probably shouldn't have. So it's gonna be a real heavy spoiler-filled review because it's probably one of the worst films I've seen this century. It's probably the worst one I've seen this century. So maybe it's not the best film you should be seeing because it's I'm going to go through plot points and I'm going to go through questions and, nitpick about things I didn't like. So, it starts where the fourth one ended, and Optimus Prime goes to find the creators, and if you've seen the trailers, if the first time you see him, he's frozen in space, just floating around. The next time you see him, he's crashing into the flipping Cybertron like a meteor, because of course he is. And when he's there, he's walking around, oh, Cybertron, oh. And he's taken in or captured by, I guess you could say the villain, I would say, but it's either the Quintess or the Quinticon, I don't know, but she convinces him that his battle, he has to save Cybertron, and, he becomes, he turns, yes, I'm going to say Cybertron, and his eyes turns purple and whatnot, and, but that's not really the story. It takes him out of the film for like an hour and a half, but before that, you get a little prologue where it takes place in medieval times, during the times of King Arthur, and, apparently Merlin knew the Transformers of the time, and he was given a staff by one of the Transformers to control a robotic dragon to help save England. Because, of course he was. Because, why set up a mythology right in the beginning when you can set it 5 films into the franchise? I mean, wasn't it enough to have the cube in the first film? No, we gotta go. Oh. You didn't know this secret history about the Transformers, did ya? So because the film has no focus at all, basically after the one of the Optimus Prime scenes, you get to the Chicago, where basically, there's 4 kids who are like, hey, you want to go see some dead robots? Because, somebody said, oh, this reminds me of Stand By Me. Of course it does, because it's got robots instead of a dead body. So, yeah, these 4 kids go around where they're not supposed to be. Basically, there's a good chunk of Chicago that's all decimated, and they're not going to repair it because, money or whatever, or plot points. So, they go... These 4 kids go there. They're disposable kids. They don't even count. They're just in it just to walk. So they come across a robot who's dying, and this girl who's, of course, she's in it. She's like the Princess Mononoke of Transformers, because she's living there saying, "Oh, somebody's got to look after these robots. Somebody's got to protect them." Of course, somebody does, because mankind has waged war on it for all the wrath that this had to deal with for the 10 years. Can you blame them? You had the cube in the first film in 2007. You had the stuff that happened in the second one where the Fallen tried to destroy the Earth and suck the power of the sun. You had Sentinel Prime in the third one who tried to use a space bridge to bring Cybertron and send all the humans in the world to be slave labor. And number 4, I don't even know. I don't even remember number 4. It's basically stuff happens and the Dinobots come around and Optimus Prime saves the day. Oh, and there's some other guy who comes and tries to destroy the Transformers, but that's neither here. So anyways, the girl is there, and she runs into Mark Wahlberg, who's there to do basically the same things. Like, oh, you're a little girl, you can't be here. Well, of course you can't, you're a little girl. So therefore, he's doing whatever. He's trying to save robots or whatever. That's fine. It's understandable. And his pal Bumblebee shows up, and he gets taken down by the human troops. Because of course he is. Bye-bye, Bumblebee. You're dead. He's in a million pieces. But wait, apparently Bumblebee has the ability to put himself back together. Who knew? this could have helped Jazz a lot in the first film when he was torn apart, don't you think? But somehow Bumblebee, because the plot requires it, because it looks cool, has the ability to take all his parts and put himself back together again. Now, part of this human force that's, trying to destroy the robots, there's Josh Duhamel coming back for, whatever reason. But he's like, oh, Bumblebee's my friend, but I'm still going to, take my friends down because America, and it's my job, and I'm a soldier. So sorry, I gotta take you in, but I'll let you guys go just because I remember the few times you helped me out, Bumblebee. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. So, but we're gonna put a tracker on him. Now here's what I don't understand. But it's a robot, right? So robot. This is his skin. Am I wrong? Am I right? If he's a robot, if he's a sentient being, wouldn't you notice if there's a tracker shot on you? Like say a mosquito bite. Wouldn't you notice that kind of thing? I guess I'm wrong, but he doesn't notice that until they get back to Mark Wahlberg's hideout in South Dakota, because of course it's a couple states away. So there Mark Wahlberg has a junkyard where it's like a refuge for like Transformers, like Grimlott's there and and he has this other guy there his whole thing is, I don't want the police to get me. I don't even know why I filled out this application. I don't know what I'm doing. I just said I'll take a job. That's his whole bit. It's like, I'm just here. So obviously the military finds a tracker, and they go after Mark Wahlberg, but Mark Wahlberg takes a girl who and just like, you stay here, I'll go and I'll do the rest of the movie. So you stay here. You're out of it so the girl storyline is out of the movie for another hour, because of course it is, because it's in the way. It's too much filler. And now the film turns into a chase for like an hour and a half. And you get to involve Megatron in it, who makes an agreement with the humans, like, I'll go after these Autobots, but you got to give me my friends who you captured. And so they show who the Decepticons are in Suicide Squad style. Like, here's this guy, he's a dangerous guy, he does something stupid like, oh, I'm gonna kill you all, and then freeze shot, and then shows his name, like Berserker or something. It's like, you're kidding me? Somewhere Michael Bay's like, oh, I just saw a Suicide Squad. You know, that'd be really cool if we had like the Decepticons that he wants to break out, but we have a cool introduction for each one. Let's get on it. Well, so much style versus substance, right? So yeah, it's just like they go to play one spot, go to another. They're chased by the humans. They're chased by Decepticons, whatever. Until they come to a quote unquote abandoned town, because it looks like the streets are deserted. No one's been there, but yet they go into one building and there's people, like there's a janitor there. There's a guy sitting at the elevator. What's the deal? And it's this part of the scene where a humanoid robot, he's like, oh, I've come to collect you. Because apparently during Chicago, which I didn't mention, Mark Wahlberg comes across a talisman from a dead robot. It's like, oh, but the talisman is more or less forgotten from that point until this point right now. So the humanoid collects him and takes Wahlberg and flies to Europe. Meanwhile, in another part of Europe, there's this chick who's like a professor or something, and she's English and uppity and all that, and that's all you get to know until she's kidnapped by a Transformer car, who takes her to the same destination, and they go and meet up with Anthony Hopkins, who has secrets of his own. So what are his secrets? So Anthony Hopkins is part of a secret society known as the Witwickens, because of course it is, because it's got to tie into Shia LaBeouf somehow. So basically the Witwickens have known about Transformers all along, since the Middle Ages, because of course, like they just, why bring a sense of mythology when you could have brought it in so long ago? If you have, like, his picture of of Shia LaBeouf's grandfather, along with a picture of him. You're telling me that they wouldn't have like some kind of connection to the story? They wouldn't, if they were part of the society, they wouldn't know anything about the Transformers until say 2007. Oh, and it gets better. Apparently, obviously the Transformers have been around since the Middle Ages, so their secret's been quiet. But which made me puzzled because they show a scene where there's a watch that quote unquote killed Hitler, and then they do a little flashback where like Anthony Hopkins, oh, Bumblebee, I remember World War II, and he talks about World War II, where apparently there's a flashback scene where Bumblebee was in World War II as a car. So Bumblebee is a weapon for the United States, right? And wasn't say around the time the 1930s, whatever, didn't they discover Project Iceman? So they're keeping all the secrets of Project Iceman secret from this weapon they're using or whatever in World War II. Really? If he's if they're using him, why didn't they capture him? They captured him in 2007 like they've never seen him before, but yet he's fighting along the Allies. I don't understand. I don't get it. What's the deal? So anyways, when they figure out this, it turns out that the chick that got kidnapped is apparently Merlin's great granddaughter. So only she can use something called that's Merlin's staff, which if I remember what I talked about in the prologue, can help save the Earth, because apparently they don't. Apparently somehow Anthony Hopkins knows that the Cybertron is coming. So and with that, Cybertron is on the way, and there's a little scene where Optimus Prime is still hanging out, chained, like, and he's informed by the Quintesscon that Earth is basically Unicron. You heard that right, folks. Earth is Unicron, and Cybertron's going there to destroy it. So the chick realizes her father did a lot of research on the whole Transformers and whatnot, and they go to her family home and tear up his room trying to find whatever they can, and realize that there's a ship on about the ocean. How do they get there? Apparently there's a Transformer that's a dry dock submarine conveniently in London that they're going to use to get there. Meanwhile, they're still being chased by Josh Duhamel and his buddies because, story, conflict, because, we got to get those Transformers. I'm not sure what Duhamel's intentions are. I don't know if he's trying to get the Decepticons, or he's trying to, I don't know what he's doing, but he's going after them like he has extreme prejudice and blood in his eyes. I don't get it. So they take a submarine, it's a Transformer, I guess, or whatever, and they go find this underwater spaceship, which basically has the Tomb of Merlin, and they try to get the Merlin's staff from him. So they get it, obviously, but they get a staff until the girl touches it and it turns into like Merlin's staff, and conveniently brainwashed Optimus Prime, who's called himself Nemesis Prime now, is all like, I'll take that staff. Thanks for finding it, lady. And everybody's like, oh, Optimus, you're supposed to be our buddy. What happened? Oh, beat a human, da-da-da-da-da. Take a hike. And as he's leaving, Bumblebee goes after him, and as Cybertron nears the planet, the ship starts rising from the ocean after they take the staff and whatever. So Optimus and Bumblebee have a little tussle on, and as Optimus is about to kill Bumblebee, Bumblebee's like, no, Optimus, you're my buddy. He uses his real voice. And then he's like, turns right back to Optimus. It's like, oh, Bumblebee, I haven't heard that voice since the fall of Cybertron. Horse hong! He used his voice at the end of the first Transformers to say, permission to speak. Apparently you have selective memory. You got robot Alzheimer's or something. But no, let's just forget about that fact, and we'll just say, oh, that's such a driving force to knock me back to my senses. Oh, sorry, I tried to kill you guys. My bad. So let's all go take on the Quinticon, okay? So yeah, the U.S. governments are aware that Cybertron has been coming, and it looks more like it's a throwback to Armageddon. Like they're trying to use science and whatever, but the government's like, we have all the science, but let's just try to use this. Let's believe in the mythology that's happening, and let's let the Autobots or whatever. So at this point, the human forces there come along, and the Knights have been woken up, or there's the ancient Autobots from the first part of the film who formed this big dragon have been woken up with the staff being taken, and they joined the fray as because they try to get Optimus, but Mark Wahlberg, who has the talisman, which hasn't done anything until this point, becomes a sword, and apparently a human this size can stop a robot's freaking swing about that size with using a sword. Are you kidding me? Physics is out the window. Science is for idiots, right? So then they say, oh, because he has a talisman, he's the last knight, so Optimus isn't such a bad guy after all. Way to go. So everybody joins together because they're going to fight Cybertron, and they're going to fight the Quinticon or Quintessa or whatever. I don't know. She's the bad guy now. So pretty much it's a one big CGI fest as they try to more or less Force Awakens. That means that there's this one little part they gotta try to destroy on whole Cybertron, which will stop Cybertron from destroying the Earth and digging to the Earth and stopping Unicron apparently. So it's just wow, it's just a lot of things going on, sensory overload. There's everyone. There's certain parts in it where you don't even see Optimus Prime anywhere. He's whatever. So characters are like, "Where's Prime? Where's Prime? Where's Prime?" for 10 minutes, and then of course Prime has his big hero rival riding on top of the dragon transformer because it looks so cool in Age of Extinction when he's riding Grimlock. So let's do it again with a dragon this time. I'm sure that was Michael Bay's whole thing in the movie. I want Optimus Prime to ride a dragon. So as I said, I don't know where I am half the time in the flippin' climax because everything's going on this one little power relay or whatever, and they're trying to get the staff so they can stop Cybertron from trying to take the Earth's energy and whatever, and it gets to a point where they destroy part of it and they're all in free fall. So part of the thing is the girls trying to hang on to the staff, take it out, and Wahlberg's trying to help her and use the staff to stop everything, and Optimus destroys the robot chick Quintessa, whatever her name is, and eventually they get to the point where they stop everything, but the movie's over with, but Cybertron's still right above the Earth. So it's like, oh, we gotta figure out how to make both worlds live together, or some hooey. Okay. So there's a little thing at the end where it shows this horn sticking out of the ground, and people are poking it or experimenting. This chick's like, oh, don't do it. It doesn't like that. And it's like a flash of robot. So apparently we're gonna do Unicron in the sequel, or Planet Earth is a bad guy in this wheel, because of course it is. So this movie is a mess. It's easily the worst film I've seen in a long time. Compared to this, Battlefield Earth has maybe one of the most boring movies I've ever seen, but at least it has a story, and everybody's after one thing: leverage. It's not like the story goes here. No, I don't like this story. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go try this story. Nah, this story doesn't work. This does not do it, and it's just left me with a lot of questions. So again, how does Bumblebee have the ability to be blown apart and somehow put himself back together when, say, in the first movie, when Jazz gets ripped apart, he's dead? I don't get it. How does his DNA advanced so much in 10 years where he's able to do that, and his friend Jazz is dead. I don't understand. Again, I don't understand why they have like these abandoned places, yet people are drawn to go there. I mean, it's probably like, well, I gotta get away from the world or whatever. But why are there always famous people and secret societies in these movies? Is it supposed to be George Washington? John Kennedy? Oh, that guy. I don't understand. I mean, is it necessary? Why do we need returning characters in these movies that don't add up to anything? John Turturro adds up in this movie, and his whole thing is he's just there to annoy Anthony Hopkins, pretty much. He's in Cuba, where he is. I guess that's also another place where the Transformers exile, because he has an Autobot there, who's like, all they do is they play basketball all day. Really, a robot playing basketball? And all John Turturro says is, I want to be part of the Woodwickens too. How does he know about this? He should have known this, because he should even know, the last name instead of, I don't know how to pronounce the last name of the Woodwicken from the first movie. He should know what a Woodwicken is. I don't think this movie has a sense of continuity. As I said, a lot of the bumblebees, right? The Bumblebee voice, which she uses in the first movie, and Optimus is like, oh, I haven't heard that since the fall of Cybertron. So it had to be like, I don't know. I guess he wasn't paying attention. Or, like I said, Bumblebee in World War II. If he was in World War II, you mean the government's going to keep that whole thing under wraps? If he's also a giant? But yet, they approach him like they've never seen him before in 2007. I don't understand. Then the one question that bothered me from the beginning: how can these robots procreate? Because Mark Wahlberg is busy when he comes back to his little hideout in South Dakota, talking to little baby Dinobots. He's talking to them, and it makes me pine for the days when he was talking to plants, because this is a Razzie winning performance. It's just And we're going to talk about the flaws I have. What really turned me off about this movie, if I'm not mad enough. So I've talked a lot about how much I can't stand the movie, right? Right. But there's so much more I don't like. I hate how there are 3 writers on the film. It seemed like they threw 3 different parts. And they want to tell too many stories. Like the first film was straightforward. Everyone's trying to get the Allspark. The good guys need it because they want, and the bad guys need it. But the problem is, good guys want to protect the Earth. The bad guys want to destroy it to get the Allspark. Second one, the same way. The bad guys want to destroy the sun so you can get Energon for Cybertron. The good guys want to save the Earth. The over-exaggeration on personalities, quirks, and expressions. It's just, usually I find with these Michael Bay movies, the Transformer ones in particular, it's hammy acting. Like, Mark Wahlberg especially in this one. It's like he's acting against nothing, but he's trying to express like something's there, obviously. And the robots, it's like they don't learn lessons from the second one. Everybody's got to have, like, stereotypical, like you have a French robot. Hot Rod's a French robot in this, apparently. That's not what Hot Rod looks like, but whatever. Hound, this is Hound. This is what Hound's supposed to look like. He's not a big, burly, heavy machine gun guy. He's supposed to be a scout. But yet they said, oh, we got to make him military weapon, so let's make him big, burly, and he carries a big gun. But he's supposed to be a scout. But whatever. I know Michael Bay sings big and explosive and awesome. I hate the quick shots on these movies. I hate them. It's like I almost did this rant in the Michael Bay style where every 20 seconds I was going to take a different camera angle, but I just if I hate doing it, you're going to hate. If I hate seeing it, you're going to hate seeing it. So I decided not to do it. If I have to hear the phrase "no sacrifice, no victory" one more time, because you'll hear this 8,725 times throughout this movie, and it drove me nuts. I'm reading off a script here, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else. For the most part of the movie, there's no clear-cut villain. I mean, you have the Quinticon or Quintessa or whatever her name is. That takes in or captures Optimus Prime and convinces him to fight for her side, but she's only in it for like 5 minutes, and then most of the movie it's a chase until you get to the end and like, oh, she is the villain. And I'm not so keen on I wouldn't say Josh Truehamel might be the villain, but I don't like how they don't make it clear like he has a personal conflict since the Autobots are his friends, but he's a military man. Now that might have made it better than a -5 in my review, but whatever. I hated this movie. So much. I mean, Michael Bay just doesn't care. He's given up. He's thrown a towel in a while back, and he's like, just give me the money. That's all he says. You guys just write a script. I'll just direct whatever, and just make sure there's lots of explosions and CGI. I was thinking about putting photos up to, give a clear presentation, but it's not even worth the effort. I mean, I don't want to see the movie. You shouldn't want to see the movie. I didn't want to see the movie, but if I hate something, I gotta see why I hate it. So, yeah. I hope my pain, at least brought a smile to your face, and you enjoyed this little rant. So, thank you guys for watching, and maybe the next review will be a happy one.